AI responses you can actually trust. That's structured output. It transforms unreliable text into precise machine-readable data. I will show you exactly how to implement it for Pydantic by building a stock analysis agent as an example. And at the end, you will get the complete code as usual. Let's swarm. So first, it is important to understand what actually is structured data. So what is structured output when working with LLMs? Structured output in the context of large language models refers to the practice of constraining the model's response to follow a specific predefined format or schema, rather than generating free-form unstructured text. So what does this mean? This means that we give the model some guardrails of answers which we expect. And as models are working with probabilities that predict like the next token or the next word, if they have a less variety of things that they would predict, of course, the chances that they predict the right result, the right answer is a lot higher. So that's why it's working very well. This approach ensures that the output is organized, consistent, and machine readable. So this is very important. Output has to be machine readable because we want our agents to be reliable. And if every time there's like a very different output, they are not reliable and not really usable in automation processes. Making it easier to parse and integrate into downstream applications such as APIs, databases, or automated workflows. So, why we want to do that? Well, it's of course it's helping because then all of these applications can easily use those data right away instead of you having to write like complicated parsing scripts. So let's go for the two main advantages if you're using structured output. So first, of course, is reducing hallucinations. So structured output constraints dramatically limit the model's ability to generate false information. This we already mentioned. It's because you decrease the probability. You decrease amount of options the model can predict and limit them to the ones that you actually make sense for you. Then we have machine readability and integration. Enables programming processing and seamless incorporation into existing systems. We already discussed this, like this is a very big advantage, so you can actually reliably use your AI agent workflows. So let's give a quick demo of how actually output, which is not really structured, looks like, and one which is very nicely structured. So often it happens that the model returns like a string, can be any kind of string, usually, sure, here comes the JSON string. And then comes actually what you wanted to be returned. But this part and this part you don't need because you don't want to parse it or like build parsers and stuff like that. So what you only want is exactly this part. And with structured output, you exactly get only this without anything else which is like polluting your output. So how are we going to do that in Pydantic? Here you have an example in Pydantic. Basically, it's just the repo of Pydantic. Well, Pydantic agents, Pydantic AI is like, it is kind of made exactly for this use case. So the Pydantic AI agent framework is probably the most made for exactly this kind of problem. So how we do that? Well, very easy. We just define the base model and then we say output type support output. So let's take a look, and the link, of course, you will have in the description below. I posted for you so you can just use it. So let's jump into the code and I give you a quick example how this works. First, I want to explain you what actually how the agent workflow looks like. So we have the input, which is the stock ticker. So we say, okay, let's, for example, AAPL, we want the Apple stock to be used as an input. Then the agent will call a tool, which is the Yahoo Finance API, which will then return the stock data. And we will combine this stock data together with the Warren Buffett investment principles and use that for our analysis. And then the agent, after processing this data, will return an structured output, which is the investment data. So let's take a look into the code, how it actually looks like. So here we have our code. I think I can go a little bit more further. No, I cannot. So here we have our code, which is the Pydantic structured output. All the code, of course, you will get in the description below. And we have two models we want to use, which is the relevant KPI and the investment analysis. And then we will use the investment analysis in our agent, which is, where's our agent? Where is our agent? We have, okay, good question. Where's our agent? Where is here's our agent. So what we're going to do is we have the output type, which is then the investment analysis. What is very nice, if we use Pydantic, that we can kind of nest our models. So we have the investment analysis, which is using the relevant KPIs. So we have here a list of relevant KPIs, which has the key and the string. So let's give it a try and run it. So what we're going to first do is we analyze the stock, we receive the data from the tool, and then we use our model to just like our agent to analyze it. And as you can see here, we have exactly the same structure which we defined previously. We have the reasoning, we have the rating, we have the relevant KPIs, and we have the improvement requirements. So we have our reasoning here, then we have our overall rating, then we have the relevant KPIs, and we have our improvement requirements, which are necessary at the end if we want to buy the stock. So just a short note, this is not an investment recommendation. You can use this tool for fun, for learning, and always have to double check what the model's output is. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to give me a like and a subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.